Welcome to our Salesforce on Salesforce story for Data Cloud. Imagine this, a 60% increase in revenue from marketing leads and saving 35,000 customer service hours per year, and also getting a 5x return on advertising spend using harmonized unified data that is privacy safe. We did all of this by solving for common problems of data silos. So how did we do it? Hi, I am Rahul Auratkar, EVP and GM of Unified Data Services at Einstein. And in this video, we'll share how we use Data Cloud at Salesforce and how it powers Agentforce to drive results. We'll also discuss the lessons we have learned from our own implementation. At Salesforce, our vision since 1999 has been to help companies connect with their customers in new ways, and we are just not talking the talk about this technology. We're walking the walk by using our own technology every day. We rolled out this vision of data, AI, and apps at Dreamforce about 8 months back. We have been living this for the last 8 months with terrific success. Data Cloud is at the heart of everything we do. It binds the customer 360. What does binding the customer 360 mean? It means you can now connect with all your customers across all channels, across all modalities, and across all touch points. And by doing so, you provide integrated, delightful experiences to your customers across sales, service, marketing, commerce, analytics, collaboration, you name it. Now, once you have that foundation, imagine how powerful those agents would be that are delivered through Agentforce. Now, all of this is on an open and extensible, deeply unified platform, and we call it's loosely coupled but deeply unified. Enterprises today struggle with data silos, unreliable insights, and poor actionability. It's like being data rich, but insights and actions poor. This is of particular concern in the agentic era. AI agents need the right data and context to produce reliable and accurate actions that are grounded in data. We built Salesforce Data Cloud to intelligently activate all your enterprise data, designed to complement the systems you already have for coexistence with systems that you already have. It bridges data silos and harmonizes and unifies information from lakes and warehouses, business applications, and in all types of formats, structured like spreadsheets, unstructured like PDFs or voice or video, in all formats. Data Cloud unifies data, which then can be used to make predictions. These are AI predictions or BI predictions, deliver automations, help you take the right actions across your entire business application landscape. Our partnerships with Amazon, Snowflake, Databricks, Google, and many, many more help customers take advantage of their existing data investments and power activations in other applications they use every day to run their business. Enterprises across every industry can use all their data to activate their apps and experiences. With Data Cloud, you have more complete customer information, better analytics, and can leverage trustworthy AI-powered agents with Agentforce. Here to tell you all about it is our Chief Data Officer, Michael Andrew. Michael?
Thanks, Rahul. It's incredible to think that just 4 years ago, managing our customer data at Salesforce was a vastly different landscape than it is today. As a large global organization with over 75,000 employees and numerous acquisitions under our belt, our data was scattered across countless different systems. And adding to that, we have an incredibly diverse customer base, from solo entrepreneurs to the largest Fortune 100 companies. We had information pouring in from every direction. Our own first-party Salesforce CRM instances, external data systems like Snowflake, Google, Amazon, and more. This created an incomplete picture of our customers, and it was becoming challenging to achieve that single source of truth that we know we need to truly understand our customers. This fragmented data wasn't just a back-end problem. It was leading to unreliable insights, disconnected customer experiences, and slower internal processes for our teams. Something as fundamental as ensuring our account data matched up across systems to send the correct invoices globally became complex. The classic problem, the left hand truly wasn't talking to the right hand because critical customer data wasn't connected. We realized we had to address this data challenge head on and fundamentally unify all of our customer data. So we asked ourselves a powerful question. Why aren't we applying our own best practices? We knew that to truly understand and serve our customers at every touch point, we needed a unified view. We set out to do exactly what we advise our customers, to build a single source of truth for understanding their entire journey with Salesforce. We call this the Truth Profile, a 360-degree view, a complete story of our customer's relationship with us. And this meant understanding every part of their journey, from that initial spark of interest when they see an ad, to when they begin to explore our website, maybe playing a demo, watching a video, ultimately then trying out the product, talking to our sales team, using the product, skilling up on Trailhead, getting support on the product, expanding with our App Exchange partners, and then ultimately engaging our success team to drive even higher value, and then becoming so successful that they join our community and they share their own stories of success. And why does this matter? If you have this single view, it's crucial for us to be able to accelerate their journey through the deal cycle, driving deeper adoption and growth, fostering true mastery of our products, and ultimately creating these incredible trailblazers who will find their career success within the Salesforce ecosystem. But the Truth Profile wasn't just about creating a holistic view, it was about empowering every team across Salesforce. For marketing teams, the need was to deeply understand our audiences in order to personalize website and other digital experiences, to strategically invite the right customers to our events, and to find more customers like them through partners like Google and LinkedIn. For our 20,000 sellers, the priority is to identify and engage in the most promising leads, ultimately ensuring that we're working the right prospects and improving our close rates. And for our service teams, the goal was to truly understand our customers' needs for faster case resolution, improving the adoption of our products, and ensuring that we have the right opportunities that we can ultimately offer to our customers to create success for them and drive our growth. And ultimately, by having all this data together, it enables our operations teams to run the entire business more intelligently, building AI-powered tools that can increase efficiency and effectiveness across every function of our company in a highly competitive landscape. Like many businesses in this demanding environment, our continuous goal is to do more with less and be increasingly effective year after year. So, how did we turn this vision of a data-driven, unified Salesforce into reality? Let's take a look at an example. Take Samantha, the CIO of our fictional company, Northern Trail Outfitters. Her journey with Salesforce begins with discovering our product, maybe through an email subscription. Then she explores our website and watches a demo, perhaps even attends one of our events. And that sparks an interest. So she starts learning on Trailhead and talking to our sales team. This leads to her purchasing the product, including Data Cloud. Her teams get certified and start using it, experiencing great success. She partners with us on implementation, and our admins become active in our community. And then later in her journey, she sees the positive impact on her business. She collaborates with our product teams, providing valuable feedback. She goes through renewals and expands her usage with more and more products. And throughout this entire process, she continues to engage with our website, attend our events, and interact with our sales teams. So we had to understand all of these diverse customer touchpoints coming from different places. And how do we transform these interactions into meaningful data? Data that allows us to truly understand Samantha and each of our customers. So you might be wondering, where are we today with Data Cloud? Over the past few years, we've rebuilt our single source of truth using Data Cloud. Now let me walk you through the key elements. So first, it all starts with the profiles. We have to be able to bring the information together that is in systems like our Sales Cloud, our Service Cloud, or maybe in our Marketing Cloud. We also have other data. We have data in Google Analytics. We have data from LinkedIn. We have data from Demandbase. We have data when you sign up in Trailhead that behind the scenes is Okta. We had more than 262 million profiles that were disconnected. Now we're unifying this into 138 million profiles. That lets us build a single view of our individuals, our contacts, how those contacts relate to an account, how they relate to the company, and then even consent. But of course, having that is not enough. You have to understand what are they doing. And these are what we think of as signals. And we get those signals both from what they're doing with Salesforce that we're capturing in Sales Cloud and Service Cloud. We also get that data from Zero Copy with data warehouses like Snowflake. We get that data from how they engage in email for our Marketing Cloud. We get that data from event systems like RainFocus. We get that data also from our product data system built on Amazon, or the ads are doing with Google, or even our website data streaming in live in a data cloud. And that lets us build signals that can say, how do I understand what event someone's gone to, what they're interested in? Where are they in our deal cycle? How are they using our products? And how can I make predictions? And then finally, if you have the customer and what they do, and you then know what they're doing, you know who they are, and then you want to have an agent reply, you got to know, well, what do I know about Salesforce? And that's where then we're building our unified knowledge about our companies, our products, all this information, and then knowledge for the content. And we now have more than 5,000 records coming in from our trails, from our service knowledge base, from our product descriptions, more and more information that's building the indexes that the agents can use. So now you have this unified profile, you have the unified signals, and you have all of your unified knowledge and content. You turn that into action with Data Cloud. And so that lets us then segment our customers, that lets us use flow so that data can turn into action and trigger. It lets us build data that we can share with other systems. And that data comes into then the Customer 360. And for example, it lights up a channel like agents. If you've gone to our website and talked to our help agent, that's running on Data Cloud. On the website, if you then go ask about product questions, that's running on Data Cloud. The agents are also working with sales. Data Cloud is sending leads to sales, it's sending alerts to sales, it's helping them discuss and find out more about our products. It's sending information to advertising partners like Google and LinkedIn. It's sending information to our Marketing Cloud and messaging systems. It's sending data back into Salesforce. It's sending data to our mobile applications. And of course, it's generating analytics. And for us, agents are not just the channel that you see on the website. We're also building agents to manage channels, like agents that now can go and manage your Google ads, or agents that can author web pages, or agents that can talk to our sales teams. So we've been able to build this amazing system that is now powering our customer experiences, driving our business, and in fact now used by hundreds of teams at Salesforce for them to build their experiences for their customers, all on one unified source of truth. So what does that turn into? Let's actually take a look at this unified view. So remember Samantha, our amazing CIO at Northern Trail Outfitters? So for Samantha, we want to be able to understand, well, who is she? And so we can say, here's her contact information, her phone number, her location, where she works. Importantly, you can understand, well, what account is she associated with? In this case, it's Northern Trails Outfitters, a company with diverse business interests. And then we can look at her activity, the signals she's generating. Maybe she's shown interest in Agentforce. We can see her recent visits to our website. In fact, our data indicates she's in an active deal cycle. And then now, with all of this unified data, we can make predictions. How likely is this opportunity with Samantha to close? What other products might align with Northern Trail Outfitters' needs? What's the probability of Samantha attending a key event like Dreamforce? And yes, please do attend. It's an incredible experience. We can even anticipate her potential need for support and understand her likely engagement patterns across all of our digital channels. But to truly see the power of this unified view in action, I'd like to hand it over to my colleague Rahul, who was instrumental in building this amazing data cloud environment. He's now going to bring this all to life for you.
Okay, let's get into a use case here. I'm going into salesforce.com, logged in with my personal ID. I'll show you the personal ID. At the bottom here, you can see our salesforce.com web agent built with Agentforce. I'm going to ask a simple question. If you take a look at it, the simple question is already templatized. This prompt here, show me an Agentforce demo. What's happening here, it's going in there and finding me the best Agentforce demo. Once I click on the demo, this is recorded as a web signal. So I'm clicking here on watch the demo. So once I click on it, if you notice on top here, it's giving me the credentials that I have logged into salesforce.com with. It's rahul@auradhkar.com. Remember that ID, that's my personal ID, and the rest of the demo is based off of that personal ID. I watched the demo here for a few seconds. Once I start watching the demo, that web signal, along with a variety of different signals coming in from the 661 data streams, now are used to score me as a prospect that can be converted into a lead. It's also known as lead scoring. That scoring is done with the ML or predictive AI. And now I'm in the Salesforce internal production instance of Sales Cloud. This is Salesforce's use of its own product, Sales Cloud. It's also external. You might have heard the phrase org62. This is org62. Now I'm searching whether my lead got created. rahul@auradhkar.com. Remember that ID. So did that lead get created? Of course it did here. And not only it got created, but it also showed a title here, EVP and GM of product. Where is this coming from? Even though I was logged in as rahul@auradhkar.com and it got assigned to Acme Engineering, it's coming from the fact that now Salesforce and using Data Cloud and our platform knows a lot more about me across all of these 661 data streams. And also, using all that data, it created that score. I exceeded a certain threshold, and that threshold allowed that machine learning scoring threshold that allowed this system to create me as a lead. If the lead was not created, if I fell below the threshold, it went into the marketing nurture agent, where the nurture agent further nurtures this prospect. Let me go behind the scenes to show you how this worked. Again, back to the home screen here for Data Cloud. I want to show you all the data streams, the 661 data streams. Take a look at this. First off, there is Snowflake here. Now, the interesting thing is I've got 776 million last records processed from Snowflake. And the data stream type here is direct access. What does direct access mean? This is zero copy, which means we have really not brought the 776 million data records into Data Cloud. We have virtualized it, which means we federated that data from Snowflake. Now, this is our gift to the industry. We call it the zero copy network. By zero copy network, we have partnerships, like I said before, with all the major data vendors that allows us to now use that trapped data or unlock the trapped data for it to be used here. Take a look at Amazon S3. You bring it in through ingest. This is through connectivity. Or you could do it through acceleration using zero copy. Variety of different sources, Marketing Cloud, Salesforce CRM data, all of these signals, billions and billions of records being created here. Now, once you bring the data in here, I'm going to get into some what is known as the harmonization here. What does harmonization mean? It's the ability for us to harmonize data across multiple different systems. Let me show you an example. An example would be on the left side of the screen is the source systems from where all the website engagement is happening. On the right side is what we refer to as objects, that is defining the data, also known as the metadata objects. Those objects then can be used for subsequent actions that you would want to perform. Why is this important? What's important is on the left side, you have all the source systems. Imagine you add 5 more source systems. This mapping that you're doing on the screen then automatically isolates the source systems from the downstream systems that require this data for driving actions. This can be done for web action, for web signals. It can be done for account info. That leads to this creation of this enterprise graph. What I'm about to show you on the screen here is the enterprise graph here, which is, take a look at this. You have individual at the center, you have the account contact that is connected to the individual, the contact point phone, and all of this is also known as normalizing or harmonizing how data sits across all systems. Now, once you're done with that, there's one more issue here. You could have multiple Rahuls in the system. Rahul@auradhkar.com, I might be R. Auradhkar at salesforce.com, I might be coming in with my cell phone. number, I might be coming in with my Google ID. Let me show you what that now leads to. This is the unification. Unification can be about our source profiles, which I talked to you about. Here's the interesting thing, 267 million source 0.54 source profile. If you recollect, when I started the demo, it was a number that was a little different. That tells you that this is a live production instance. I've unified it to 142 million unified profiles. I was showing this demo yesterday. It was at 141.5 million unified profiles. Now, what does this unification mean? Of course, the unification can be done with either fuzzy rules or it can be done with deterministic rules. As an example, if you want to do customer service, you want it to be deterministic rules. If you want it to be for marketing reasons, you want to do it with fuzzy. You can mix and match and you can do a variety of different rules. And of course, you can store multiple graphs, which is uniquely different with Salesforce Data Cloud. By doing so, as an example, we deliver 20 to 25% fewer outreaches to customers, and we get about up to 25% better, richer results from it. So this unification allows us to know more about our own customers. They know more about rahul@auratkar.com. Okay, we talked about unification. Now here is my unified profile. This is my rahul@auratkar.com unified profile. If you take a look at it, it's got some history here. I worked at Microsoft before. I've been assigned to Acme Engineering and Manufacturing Corporation, etc. But more importantly, you look at the details here. It's got all the data lineage of records and profiles. My past phone numbers, my past email addresses, my past addresses, including the last one that I'd used in New York City. Now, on the right side, I have all my engagement feed, the emails I've opened, and also my Trailblazer activity at the bottom here. If you take a look at the Trailblazer activity, I've done a few badges on Data Cloud use cases, on AI use cases. So it is the rich unified profile. We can use this unified profile in a variety of different applications, whether it is for sales or service or marketing or analytics or AI. What does it mean to use the profile? Imagine you have knowledge about me in your business applications. Now you're using this unified profile to enrich what you know about me. Using that enrichment, you can better engage with me across all these channels and modalities and touch points. Now let's take an example of how that is being used. So if you recollect, I talked about the lead getting created after I went to the website and asked to look at a demo. That is a trigger. That is also known as a data trigger that triggers an action. That action is driven through Flow. Flow is our low-code automation that sits inside Salesforce platform. Remember I mentioned Data Cloud being deeply integrated into the platform? This is the seamless way in which we can get access to low-code automation. Here, if you go in, the decision that was made was, am I a qualified lead or am I not a qualified lead? If I'm a qualified lead, should I be handed off to an SDR or a BDR? In this case, it was handed off to an SDR. If I was not qualified, it got handed off to Marketing Cloud for driving the nurture agent. So this allows us to take all the richnesses of Salesforce platform that Data Cloud now can rely on because it's deeply integrated into the platform. Now, what Flow is doing is it's integrating actions across sales, service, marketing, analytics with the signals that it picks up from Data Cloud because Data Cloud is deeply integrated into the platform. Now that we have the unified profile, I showed you my unified profile. We have 142 million unified profiles. What can we do with it? We can create segments with it. Or we can use unified profiles in sales, service, marketing, analytics for a variety of different reasons. But let's talk about the segments here. You can create segments also for a variety of different reasons. You might want to target somebody for customer service, for sales, or for marketing campaigns. One of our largest customers uses it for customer service. A few other customers use it for integrating sales and marketing. These are some compelling use cases to optimize their B2B and B2C spend when they go from marketing to sales. So let's take one such activation here. I'm going to run you through these activation screens. These are all the activations that Customer Zero has been running. One such activation is paid media for all contacts with entitlements. Let's take a step back. What does pay all contacts with entitlements mean? You recollect rahul@auratkar.com came in. A lead was created. The lead was assigned to Acme Engineering and Manufacturing. Then rahul@auratkar.com became a customer. Now, because I'm a customer, that profile now has, unified profile has an entitlement. Now we're driving an entitlement, a campaign. And if you take a look at it, this campaign was run just yesterday. It's a Google paid media campaign. and I was previously on the insight screen. So what are the insights we're getting back? We're getting back insights like affinity categories, demographics, and in-market category. These are off of a baseline that Google provides us these insights from. Why is this important? First off, we have strategic partnerships with Google, and we have strategic partnerships with Amazon, Meta, and many other ad tech providers. These insights now can be used to continuously improve your segments. We have a few early customers of Data Cloud who have used segment optimization of their segments, and they've got outsized value on targeting. Some of them have got 35x better targeting. We ourselves, Customer Zero, got 5x better ad spend optimization or ROI on ad spend. Now, this is important not just for Google, but also for Meta and Amazon, etc. I'm going to take you to another chapter here. Now that Rahul at avratkar.com is a customer of Salesforce, where we are right now is I am now interested to learn more about Agentforce. I've become a customer of Data Cloud, and I'm also a customer of Sales Cloud as well. So I want to ask a question as in saying, show me Agentforce pricing. So when this happens, what the web agent is doing is giving me the Agentforce pricing. Now, what's important to note here is that I'm already a customer with entitlements. I saw an ad, and I came here and started looking at pricing. What does it mean? I've already been ranked as a high propensity customer. So it means I'm looking at pricing for Agentforce. All of a sudden, this is a very rich signal for a high propensity buyer. This signal now triggers Slack alerts. All our AEs, account executives, live in Slack. AEs get a Slack alert here. This is an example of a Slack alert. At Rahul Avratkar is looking at product pages for Agentforce and the pricing pages. So what it allows now the AE to do is take action on this high propensity customer. Either they can pick up the phone call, send an email, or use that unified, harmonized information about Rahul at avratkar.com, use that to ground a Gen AI response either through an email or any other form of communication. Now, this is the ability for AEs to get immediate knowledge about their customers has led to outstanding results for us from an ACV and a conversion standpoint. Now I'm here on help.salesforce.com. This is Agent First. So you can go to help.salesforce.com and ask question of an AI agent that is built, help agent that's built with Agentforce. Now that I'm a customer, I want to ask a very simple question. Perhaps very simple question, but very hard to find a good coherent answer. I want to use SAP data for Agentforce. Does Data Cloud have an SAP connector? Look at the rich answer I get from this. Now from here, I can ask a subsequent question, which is show me the setup. Here the setup is giving me more details about how to set up the SAP connector. Now, why is this possible? This is possible because we have 500,000 some unstructured data records that have been ingested into Data Cloud. What does it mean? Just simple unstructured data could be PDF documents. It could be help documents that are sitting on salesforce.com. It could be design documents written by engineers. All of those are unstructured in that they're not like spreadsheets as in rows and columns. They have been ingested into Data Cloud, and that's available through a variety of different techniques underneath that allows us to search on those unstructured data records. Now that you've looked at help.salesforce.com, let me get into actual help customer service here. This is ArcCS. ArcCS is Salesforce's internal customer service production instance that uses Service Cloud. If you take a look at it, here I have Rahul at avratkar.com, the unified profile, Acme Engineering. There's a real case here being created called Data Cloud segment copy error. The case in itself is less important. What's important is now this whoever is dealing with the case has access to my unified profile, has information about Acme Engineering and Manufacturing Corporation. Using this customer service agent can service so much better, and we're getting outsized efficiency here in the way customer service is being handled using Data Cloud and the unified profile. Finally, all of this is available with Tableau using Tableau for analytics. Here I've created a simple dashboard. The dashboard is the C360 dashboard, which talks about just the profiles and the unified profiles, contacts and leads and accounts. I can just click on each of that. I can go to the next level of detail with these dashboards. Tableau runs seamlessly on Data Cloud. And Tableau Next is running seamlessly on Data Cloud, including the semantic data model, which you're going to see out in the future. In summary, with this demo, what I showed you was how Data Cloud enhances sales, marketing, service, and Tableau analytics. It improves notifications in Slack that allows AEs to reach out to their high-propensity customers, powers 3 of our key Salesforce AI agents built using Agentforce, the web agent, the help agent, and the marketing nurture agent. With that, I want to hand it off to Michael Andrew, who's going to talk about the business outcomes that we're seeing from Data Cloud and our platform being used for Customer Zero.
Thank you, Rahul, for that amazing demo. And I'm really pleased to see that Data Cloud is helping Salesforce achieve impressive results across many parts of our business. By leveraging Data Cloud to route leads more effectively, we're now achieved more than a 40% improvement in the pipeline generated per lead and 60% year-over-year increase in the contract value for every lead we send to our sales teams. And having this unified customer data is also helping our service teams. We've now saved nearly 35,000 customer service hours each year, empowering our service agents to be far more productive in how they serve our customers. For our sales teams, the ability to prioritize which customers they engage in based on this unified view has been game-changing. In our pilot program alone, Slack notifications driven by Data Cloud Insights identified almost $25 million in potential value, simply by connecting them with the right customer at the right moment. And this impact extends to our marketing efforts. By partnering with platforms like Google and leveraging Data Cloud for precise audience targeting, we're seeing an impressive 5x return on our marketing investment, ensuring we're reaching the most relevant customers. And for our email campaigns and events, they're performing even better than ever before. By inviting the right individuals to our events based on our unified data, we've seen a 2 to 3x improvement in the pipeline and deal value from our attendees compared to our previous approaches. But beyond revenue and efficiency, Data Cloud is also critical for maintaining trust and compliance. We now process over 4 million consent updates every month from Data Cloud, ensuring that we consistently honor our customers' preferences globally, all thanks to having a single source of truth in one place in Data Cloud. And finally, Data Cloud is transforming our customer support. We are on our way to having powered 1 million conversations with our live agents on Agentforce. And we're already achieving an outstanding 85% resolution rate, directly solving our customers' challenges immediately when they need them with Agentforce and Data Cloud. So what's the key takeaway from our experience building and implementing Data Cloud? We've been on this path for a while, and believe it or not, it started with just a single small team, just 5 to 10 people in one Scrum team. We've come a long way since then, and we've learned some crucial lessons that have helped bring this to life. One of the first key insights that we learn is to treat your data and the processes around it like a product. We have dedicated data product managers who focus on identifying where data can create the most value, aligning that understanding with business needs, and then prioritizing the work accordingly. For example, one of the earliest and most impactful things we did was to combine our website data with our customer data. This simple connection powered those Slack alerts that Rahul showed you earlier, giving our teams invaluable real-time insights into what customers are looking at before our teams even spoke to them, allowing them to have smarter, more intelligent follow-up with our customers. Second, start small and focus on the value. Don't try to boil the ocean. We targeted those specific high-impact use cases. So take the example of license renewals. Previously, customers had to contact a salesperson just to add a few more licenses. And we asked, what if we could tap into those back-end systems for the data, and could we just automate this process? And the result, we now send an automated notification to our customers when they're nearing their license limit and give them the opportunity to just purchase more with a simple click. This small, targeted automation has now generated over $20 million in incremental revenue last year alone. These kind of early wins helped us build momentum and ultimately start to scale out this program across the company. And finally, and this is critical, Focus on quality over quantity when it comes to data. While having vast amounts of data and trying to get all the data together all at one time might seem appealing, we learned that the most significant value is often by picking just the best, most valuable data. Think back to the website data example. Instead of trying to ingest hundreds of different fields of data, we looked at really the top 10 to 20 most valuable data points. What pages are the customer visiting? Where are they coming from? Who are they? What products have they viewed in our demos? This focus approach of really identifying the most critical data signals is how you get to insight and impact the most quickly. What's next for Salesforce? We're now scaling our data cloud implementation across the entire organization, building what we call the agentic enterprise, embedding AI-powered agents throughout our business, both for customer interactions, like the help agent you saw earlier, and to empower our employees, like sales agents to support our 20,000 global sellers. Now, you might be considering your own data cloud journey. If so, I want to invite you to join us, either in person at Dreamforce in San Francisco or streaming live on Salesforce Plus. We'd love to meet you and answer any questions you have. I hope to see you there. If this was at all interesting to you, or if you would like more Salesforce and Salesforce stories just like this one, then please click that thumbs up button to like this video or click to subscribe.